Hey everyone, it's me, Kazik. I think I'm Kazik. Boom! I'm Kazik. Second video, I'm drunk. I've done more videos than this. I just have to remain anonymous for now because there's things I'm involved in that I could get kicked out of that I'm still actually kind of enjoying, except that the people in charge are really woke, and it is what it is. But today, speaking of woke, I'm here to talk to you about this fine gentleman, Drizzt Do'Urden. Okay, here's the deal with Drizzt. In the world of Dungeons and Dragons, he is a dark elf. They're also known as drow. Their skin is black, but not like black like Michael Jackson black. Not black like Beyonce. I'm talking like pitch black. Like, what color do you see when you close your eyes? Black. Now, the funny thing is in a lot of art, they're depicted as a very dark blue. In a lot of video games where they make dark elves that are based off of them, they are for sure blue, and you can change the shades of blue of them. But in the fantasy setting of Forgotten Realms, on paper, they are described as having black skin. They are also an evil race of creatures. So of course, that's racist. Because when you go to escape into a game of D&D to leave the real world behind you, you have to consider that everything you come across, your fictional character comes across in this fictional setting, in this fictional world, might be an analog for something problematic in the real world. And that's not escapism. That's just people looking for something to cry about. So, what has happened is, in the past few years, people who don't play Dungeons and Dragons and people who don't read Tolkien and have maybe seen Lord of the Rings once or twice have said, oh my god, this depiction of one race that's entirely evil is racist. Because when I look at trolls in Lord of the Rings and orcs in Lord of the Rings who are savage, mindless killers, the first thing I think about is black people. Yeah, these are 22-year-old white girls on Twitter who are complaining. Same thing's been going on with Dungeons and Dragons, especially in 5th edition since Wizards of the Coast has put that game out. Wizards of the Coast, also home of Magic the Gathering, who has been doing some crazy stuff lately. So, what we have is an article here on Polygon about the author of the Drizzt series. Many, many books. 50 plus. Sure, we'll go with that. Drizzt books were built on racist tropes. R.A. Salvatore wants to change that. If the drow are being portrayed as evil, that's a trope that has to go away. Even though you'll find yourself playing Dungeons and Dragons, much like myself in a game that I play, where the first encounter is a group of goblins, and the next encounter is a group of goblins, and then it's a group of nothing but kobolds, and the next it's a group of goblins. Now let me tell you something special about this particular game of D&D. The Dungeon Master is a very woke individual who goes by the pronouns they, them, and is very anti-racism. But they throw nothing at us but the exact same race over and over and over again. So, what's the difference in dark elves all being evil for the purpose of a story of one of them escaping, and then having everything in your game be one race only is trying to kill you, thwart your plans, destroy you, take over the world? We've been attacked by mobs of goblins over and over again. We've been attacked by mobs of kobolds over and over again. These are also player characters. You can play a kobold in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. You can play a goblin now. There's been so much stuff released for 5th edition since it came out years ago. You can play a bird person, a cat person, a dog person. I don't mean a person that likes cats and dogs. I mean someone, an a furry. You can play a furry, basically. Because that's not problematic, because no one has made money off of it. No one has put out, 30, 40, 50 novels of goblins attacking and kobolds attacking. but they put out books of a drow society that lives underground and pretty much leaves people alone, except for an occasional raid or two. So here we've got Dritz. Dritz decided he was tired of this shit, and he was going to go to the surface. Something in him said, I don't like the evil Spider Queen god that we worship. I don't like the evil that my family is doing to climb the ladder of society in this town of Menzo Brands and Menzo Baronzon. I don't like all the evil that happens. I don't even know who my dad is because men are just scum. The women rule. Women are the priests. Women run the church. Women run society. Women run the houses. Men are second-class citizens. Men are third-class citizens. I'm tired of this and I'm leaving. Well, if he goes through and rewrites everything he's done since 1988, if he goes through and rewrites all this, what is Stritz's motivation for leaving the Underdark? I mean, did his family go to a mattress store and cut off those tags that say "Do not remove under penalty of law"? Is that what it is? Does he find out who his dad really is, and his dad is a guy who refuses to use traffic lights and he jaywalks? He smokes cigarettes? I mean, what's the big deal? Why is R.A. Salvatore bending the knee? I'll tell you why he's bending the knee. He doesn't want to get canceled. If he says, no, you guys are wrong, you're looking at it through some really dark lenses, that's not the case. Dritz has rose up, and he has made friends with a dwarf and a barbarian, and he married Caddy Bree, and he fell in love, and it's a story of someone overcoming evil and changing. Well, why is that evil just one race? Because it's a fantasy world, and it doesn't matter. If you look at a character, in a fictional character in a fantasy setting, and you say, oh, this really evil, vile, dastardly being reminds me of people of color in the real world, the problem isn't with R.A. Salvatore's stories. The problem is with you. Because there's a saying that the opposite is true. So if you're looking at these fictional characters in a fictional world saying, oh, black people, then what are you thinking when you look at black people? Do they remind you of these evil, vile savages that just want death and destruction in a fictional world? Then why are you doing that? Why are you trying to bring all this together into one thing? I don't understand it. I am intoxicated though, so maybe that's helping me miss out on all this understanding. But yeah, I'm pretty much done with Dungeons and Dragons. It kind of ended. When they did their Strixhaven thing. I don't know if let me see if I can show that to you. Let's find this Strixhaven thing here. So Strixhaven is a setting in Magic the Gathering. It is a new setting for a new set of cards coming out, and it is stories. It's universities, schools of magic. Okay. Kind of like Hogwarts would be, but there's different schools. So they made an article. Again, it was on Polygon. Kind of cracks me up. Where is it? I'm looking. Talk amongst yourselves here. Nope, not there. Basically, they're just saying that it is a story of how to deal with the hot mess that university life is. Yeah. How to deal with the hot mess of university life. The panic attacks you get when asking a girl out on a date. Who are you going to take to prom? Are you going to have the coolest tuxedo or dress or, I guess, limousine when you show up? Pumpkin, I guess, would be a stagecoach because it's D&D. It's frenemies. They talk about frenemies that you have in college. I don't get it. That's not a Bimini thing. That's just a, hey, here's a weird SJW thing that we're just going to throw at you. Now I got that article here. Bazinga. Alright. Yeah. Second video ever. Except for the ones that I did where I didn't hide. I have to hide. I won't hide soon. Okay. Got it pulled up in Chrome. Boom! Look at this. Strixhaven campaign has mechanics for what a hot mess college life can be. Yep. Besties and frenemies. Yep. And they lead with an image of, we're dancing. Oh, well, that's cool. They're two dudes and their skin color is different. And that's fantastic. That's cool. Do it. I just had someone really close to me tell me that him and his husband have been qualified to adopt a child. And the child is on their way to them soon. Bravo. Cool. Awesome. Do it. But why is an entire book being put out about the hardships of college life? Where are we at here? Personality profiles for 18 NPCs spread across the 5 colleges, and players can interact with them during relationship encounters such as improv festival, house party, and pitch perfect style singing competition. The decisions players make during these encounters could earn them new allies or rivals that will try to interfere with their plans. So they're going to go to the cleaners and pick up their tuxedo for them so that when they go to the prom, they have to wear something crappy. I don't know. I don't know what's happening in Dungeons and Dragons. It's no longer about fighting evil wizards that have skeleton armies, and the skeletons are wearing cool armor and carrying swords, and there's rites and rituals and sacrifices going on. Nope. Instead, it is about what a hot mess college life can be, and pitch perfect style singing competitions and improv club. That's Dungeons and Dragons for you folks. All right, thanks for coming by Dividual Reality. I am Kazik. I am intoxicated, and I might do some sober ones tomorrow or something. But thanks for coming by. Comment, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff that you're supposed to say at the end of a YouTube video. I'll see you.